Hello. Um, my lesson plan that I'm doing is I'm gonna do it on Nearpod. And then I am gonna act as one of the students using another computer to show how it would be when students are actually in the class. So I'm gonna start. Um, so there are three modes of transportation. There is one that goes through, or some that go through the air. There are some that are on land, and then there are some modes that go in the water. So we're going to start by reading three books. So let's go ahead and start by doing that. The first book that we are reading is Amazing Airplanes by Tony Mitton and Aunt Parker. So let's go ahead and start. Whoosh. An airplane is amazing, for it travels through the sky, above the clouds for miles and miles, so very fast and high. An airport is a place you go to take a trip by air. You check in at the terminal to show you've paid your fare. The ground crew weighs your luggage and loads it in the hold, and then you take the walkway to the plane when you are told. The flight decks where the captain and co-pilot do their job. They both know how to fly the plane with all its dials and knobs. They radio control tower to check the runways clear. They can't take off unless it is with other planes so near. By intercom, the captain on the flight deck says hello. You have to put your seatbelt on before the plane can go. A plane is big and heavy, yet it climbs up really high. It zooms along the runway and soars into the sky. Its wings hold big jet engines, which are loud and very strong. They suck in air and blow it through to whoosh the plane along. When the plane moves fast enough, the air around so swift, it pushes up beneath the wings and makes the whole plane lift. Soon the plane is in the air, so now you're on your flight. The cabin crew look after you and make sure you are all right. They bring you drinks and magazines and trays of food to eat, and sometimes there's a movie you can watch while you're in your seat. When the journey's over, the captain lands the plane. Control tower has to say it's safe for coming down again. You sit with seatbelt fastened. There's a bumpy rumbling sound. The wheels are making contact and the plane is on the ground. At last the doors are opening, then out you come with smiles. You give a cheer, hooray, you're here. You've flown for miles and miles. The control tower. From here, the air traffic control directs the planes and tells pilots when to take off and land safely. The flight deck, sometimes called the cockpit, this is where the pilots and So the next thing that we're
co-pilots sit.
is we're gonna
Wheels.
answer
The wheels fold
three
away
questions.
while the plane is in the air.
So the first question
Hold is the space where heavy luggage is
in this
stored.
book. So
The
I'm
jet
gonna do it on
engine.
my other
The jet
computer and
engine
it'll show up here.
blow out air
it
and
was
gas and
an
push the plane forward.
airplane.
The gas is made up of burned fuel.
Is this form of transportation on land, air, or water?
The terminal,
So as a
this is the
student,
building
I
at the
would
airport where
write that
passengers
it
go
is
to catch
in
a
the
plane.
air because it flies in
The
the air.
wings are
And
hollow to
then
make them
the
as light as
third one
possible,
is, what does
and
this
a
mode of
smooth shape to
transportation
make
look like?
them go through the air easily.
For this, you can write anything, such as like, it looks like a bird that flies through the sky. It looks like, it's a very open-ended question, so go ahead and answer it however you would like. So I'm gonna write like a metal bird, and then I will submit it. So I submitted it, and then you can look at how I'm looking at how Summer did as a student, and I'm seeing that you are understanding how this mode of transportation works. So the next book that we're going to read is Terrific Trains, and that is also by Tony Mitten and Ann Parker.
Small trains, old trains and new, rattling and whistling, choo choo choo. Starting from the station with a whistle and a hiss, steam trains puffing and chuffing like this. Diesel trains rushing as they rattle down the line, warning us they're coming with a long, low whine. Metal wheels whirl as they whiz along the track. They shimmer and they swish with a slish, sweep, slick, click, clack. All the trains have them. Oh, yes, all the trains have them. Carriages are coupled in a neat long chain. An engine pulls the carriages, and that makes a train. If a train meets a river or a valley or a ridge, the train goes over on a big, strong bridge. If a train meets a mountain, it doesn't have to stop. It travels through a tunnel and your ears go pop. Yeah, so they don't pop. When too many trains try to share the same track, the signals and the points have to hold some back. When the rail meets a road, there's a crossing with a gate. The train rushes through while the traffic has to wait. Oh my goodness, going to bed on a train. Trains travel anytime, even very late. These trains delivering a big load of freight. These trains for passengers will soon be on our way. All aboard and wave goodbye. He's going to the beach. All aboard and wave goodbye. We're off on holiday. Train bits. Rails, electric rail. These are metal strips that form a pathway called a track or railway line. Some trains get their power from an electric rail. Whistle. This makes a noise to warn everyone that the train is coming. Signal. This tells train drivers when to stop and go. Wagon. This is for carrying goods called freight. Points. These are rails that move to let the railway line divide, so the train changes direction. Carriage. This is for carrying people, called passengers. If you enjoyed this book, please do hit subscribe.
All right, so just like we did with the last book, we are going to answer some more questions. So it's the same questions. What form of transportation is in this book? And it is a train. What is this transportation going on land, air, or on water? And then the student would answer water. So that would be like a wrong one. But this one would be land. And then the last question, again, is for what you think that the transportation method looks like. So I'm going to go back over, and I would say some kids would probably say like a huge bullet. Let's go with it. So the student will submit it, and the answers should pop up here. There we go. So it says it has 100% participation because I only have one student. And I will see that they have at least about correct answers. The last one is up to interpretation. Okay, so we have one more mode of transportation. And I'm gonna go ahead and play it. It is Brilliant Boats by Tony Mitten and Aunt Parker.
Hi kids! Welcome to the Storytime family. Today we're going to be reading Brilliant Boats by Tony Mitten and Aunt Parker. Let's begin. Brilliant Boats. Boats are really brilliant for sailing us around. They travel through the water with a sloppy, slappy sound. It's fun to go out boating, especially in the sun. The water's cool and sparkly, so come on everyone. A boat sits on the water like an empty bowl or cup. It's hollow and full of air. That's what keeps it up. An anchor holds you steady when you're bobbing in a bay. You wind a chain to raise it when you want to sail away. Over lakes and seas and rivers, wind blows very strong. Some boats have sails to catch it, so it pushes them along. To manage boats with masts and sails, you need a clever crew. The captain is the one in charge who tells them what to do. Aye, aye, Captain. A dinghy or rowing boat is useful near the shore. You make it travel backwards by pulling on each oar. A motorboat is powered by propeller from the back. It whooshes through the water and leaves a foamy track. And just in case by accident you tumble from the boat, you have to wear a life jacket made to help you float. Some boats go out fishing where the ocean waves are steep. The nets are cast to catch the fish, then haul them from the deep. A ship can carry cargo, which is loaded at the docks. Hop ho, look out below, here comes a giant box. A ferry catches cars and lorries where they need to go. The people travel up above, the vehicles stay below. Doo-doo. A mighty ocean liner has a big and busy crew. Carries many passengers, they're waving now. Yoo-hoo! The ship has cozy cabins where passengers can stay. And out on the deck, they stroll about and watch the sea or play. But when the journey's over, ahoy, the lighthouse rock. The ship glides into harbor and ties up at the dock. Boat bits. The lighthouse. This is a tall building on the coast with a flashing light to guide the ships and keep them away from rocks. Anchor. This is a very heavy piece of metal with hooks which dig into the ground under the water to stop the boat drifting away. Oars. These are long poles with flat blades at the end which push against the water to move the boat forward. Cargo. This is the name for the goods that the ship transports. Name. Many boats are given names by their owners. Cabin. This is the little room where you sleep on board a boat. Deck. This is the floor of a boat.
All right, so we're going to answer questions about this book also. So they're going to be the same questions. What form of transportation is in this book? Is the transportation on land, air, or water? And what does this transportation look like? So I'm going to write boats, because there's more than one boat. It is on the water. And it kind of looks like a bowl. So that is submitted. See if it pops up. One more time. Oh, there we go. Alright, so that's great. They know that this book was about boats, it was on the water, and that their interpretation of what it looks like. So the next thing that we're going to do is a collaboration. So this is where you're going to ask any questions you have about any of these three books, or anything about anything in these three books. So, Summer can write anything in here that she would like. Maybe she's going to write about, this is their brainstorming in a way. This is going to be like what other so there's a post that Summer wrote, and it looks like she's the only one that's done it so far, and there will continue to be more. And then what other things go on land? That is a great question. Other things, the other methods of transportation that go on land could be a car. It's not just a train. It could also be like farm equipment, so like a tractor and things like that. Those are some things that go on land. Other things that, and that could be one of the questions. And then other students would ask more questions. So the next thing we're going to do is our writing. We're going to write 2 facts about the transportation method. So Summer is going to write that planes, and remember, since we are we're writing in complete sentences with a capital at the beginning and a punctuation at the end. So it looks like we have Summer. She says planes fly through the air, and I'm going to need her to write one more fact about that transportation method, so about planes. And it will be like planes carry people. And that is awesome. You understand that people go in planes and that they're in the air and they go longer distances. The next thing is filling in the blanks. So you're going to take each one of those words in the word bank and put them in the proper place in the sentence. So the first one is a blank travels by land. So we're going to look at the words at the bottom, and the words are planes, trains, and boats. So Does a plane travel on land? No. So we're not going to do planes. So does a train travel on land? Okay, great. Yes, it does. So we're going to move trains to that first spot. Okay, so we have 2 more sentences and 2 more words left. So a blank travels by air. Does a plane travel by air? Yes, it does. So we're going to move planes to the second blank. And then a blank travels by water. And the only option left is boats. So does a boat travel by water? Yes, it does. So we're going to go ahead and move that up. And they're going to click done. And it looks like she got 3 out of 3 correct. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to pair students up. For this, I paired Sue, Sally, John, and Joe together, and it's transportation by land. And you are going to write or going to brainstorm about some transportations by land. So we're going to go ahead and do a whiteboard. And this is what it would look like if they were to write it out. So it'll be the land. That is terrible. I'm so sorry. And then we're going to write different things that have to do with land. Let's do 4 different things. You can go and find other books that have to do with land transportation, or you can just go ahead and look on the internet. So for this, I'm going to have Sue, Sally, John, and Joe look at ways of transportation, and they come up with a train, because that's what we wrote about, goes on land. Let's do a car and a bike, because they all go on land. So from there, we're gonna go and do a bus. And this is what it would look like. And they can continue going and write about what a train does. It goes on tracks. A car goes on the road. And so does a bus. And this is kind of what their brainstorming process would look like as a group. The bike can go on the sidewalk. That's terrible. I'm so sorry. And then they'll go and they will put it in to a Google Drive, and it will look something like this. I want you to put lots of pictures, and then I want you to write about each of the things that you put. So trains have a track that they travel on, and cars drive on roads, and most people use cars as their transportation methods. And that is a way that I would test them on how they know, how you guys know what you learned through the books. All right, thank you. All right, that's all. So we're gonna continue to do that later. Thank you.